Good morning, everyone! We're finishing up our week of virtual preschool, and I am so glad you have decided to join me for circle time today. So, let's figure out what day of the week it is. The last day of school we had was Wednesday, Thursday, so today is Friday. Yes. All right, so let's move that rainbow arrow down to Friday. And who remembers the name of our month? March. All right, let's count those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What comes next? 11. Yes, and we need to figure out the pattern. So, clover, clover, leprechaun, leprechaun, rainbow, rainbow. Clover, clover, leprechaun, leprechaun, rainbow. Yes. So we have a number 11 with a rainbow on it. All right, that was yesterday. So we need to do one more. 9, 10, 11. What's next? 12. And let's do the pattern. Clover, clover, leprechaun, leprechaun, rainbow, rainbow. Clover, clover, leprechaun, leprechaun, rainbow, rainbow. Yes, so we have a number 12 with a rainbow on it. So let's say the whole date. Today is Friday, March 12th. 2021. All right, so now we need to look out the window and figure out the weather. So when you look out your window, is it partly cloudy, cloudy, sunny, windy, rainy, stormy, or snowy? All right, and if you step out the door to check the temperature, does it feel burning hot, hot, warm, cool, cold, or freezing cold? And don't forget to have your mom or dad check their weather app to tell you the number for the temperature today. All right? So this week and last week we've been talking about colors, right? Last week we talked about the primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue, and we know that those are important colors because when you mix them together in different ways, they make all the other colors in the rainbow, right? So they're pretty important colors. And those other colors that they make, right, are called secondary colors. So when you mix colors together and you get orange, purple, and green, those are the secondary colors. All right? So we have a pretty interesting book today, and I got it from the library. It's one I had not read before. It's really quite interesting. It is before I tell you what it is, let's see what it looks like. So let's look in the mystery envelope. Okay, so this is called The Noisy Paint Box. Now this is about a famous artist named let me look at his name again. Vasya Kandinsky. And he is an interesting person because when he sees colors, he also hears sounds. Now, isn't that strange, right? Because most of us, when we see colors, we just see colors, right? They might make us think of things that are those colors, but usually we don't also hear sounds when we see colors. That is an unusual ability. Some people have kind of a thing where their senses are mixed, right? So if you can hear colors, you're kind of using your sense of sight and your sense of hearing at the same time. It's quite interesting. It's also kind of baffling to me because I don't hear colors. Most people don't hear colors, but some people do, and maybe you're one of those people, right? There's other people out there besides this guy who can hear colors. So let's listen to this story, The Noisy Paint Box. Vasya Kandinsky spent his days learning to be a proper Russian boy. He studied bookfuls of math, science, and history. He practiced piano scales to the marching click of the metronome. So this thing right here, you may have seen these before if you play an instrument or if someone you know plays an instrument. It's called a metronome. It goes back and forth and it goes tick, 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 and it helps you to keep your beat when you're playing music. He sat stiff and straight at dressed-up dinners while the grown-ups talked and talked and talked. I know you all can relate to that. All us grown-ups who like to talk and talk and talk. And look at that. He's little rolling his eyes there. Vasya's well-off world was perfectly polite until the day his aunt gave him a small wooden paint box. Every proper Russian boy should appreciate art, said Auntie. She showed Vasya the correct way to mix colors on the paint box palette. Vasya mixed red with yellow. Then he mixed red with blue. As the colors changed, Vasya heard a whisper. Hiss. Louder. Hiss. Then louder still. Hiss. Look at that. He can hear the colors. What's that sound? Asked Vasya. I don't hear a thing, said Auntie. Vasya listened as his brush stirred and swished. The swirling colors trilled like an orchestra tuning up for a magical symphony. Here he is down here. Mama, Papa, called Vasya. What a noisy paint box. Silly Vasily, said Papa. Stop being foolish, said Mama. Because remember how I mentioned that most people can't hear colors. So his aunt, his mom, his dad, they can't hear the colors. So they don't know what he's really talking about, right? But he can. He can hear those colors. Vasya painted the sound of the colors. He spun a bright lemon circle onto the canvas. It clinked like the highest notes on the keyboard. He brushed a powerful navy rectangle that vibrated deeply like the lowest cello strings. He tossed up jagged swatches of blaring crimson and added cheerful dots of burbling green, clanging orange, and tinkling violet. Vasya painted and painted until the colors went quiet. So you heard all those color words and sound words together, right? It said that the navy rectangle vibrated, right? Let's see here. The cheerful dots of burbling green. So maybe if you've heard some water burbling, that's the sound that he heard when he painted green. Orange clanging and violet tinkling. Right? So when he sees those colors, he hears those sounds. It's pretty amazing. Look what I made, shouted Vasya. Is it a house? Asked Auntie. Is it a flower? Asked Mama. What's it supposed to be? Asked Papa. It's music, said Vasya, waltzing his painting around the house. Calm down, said Mama. Do some math, said Papa. Heavens, said Auntie, this boy needs a proper art class. So Vasya went to art class and learned to draw houses and flowers just like everyone else, right? Because nobody else understands that he can really hear these colors. And when he's painting his pictures, he's kind of painting according to their sounds, the colors' sounds. As the years passed, Vasya finished school and studied to be a lawyer. He ignored his noisy paint box and lived the way people expected. But Vasya couldn't ignore the sounds of the colors singing to him in the streets of Moscow. The canary-colored mailbox whistling as he rode to work. the scarlet sunset haze ringing above the ancient Kremlin walls. So the canary color was whistling and the scarlet color was ringing to him. An ivory chorus of snowflakes scattered on the sable collar of his overcoat. So everywhere he's seeing colors, he's hearing sounds to go with them. One evening, suitably steamed and starched, Vasia attended the opera. As the orchestra's music crashed around him, the colors of the noisy paintbox twirled wildly in his mind. So when he's hearing the music, he's also seeing colors. Stomping lines of vermilion and coral, caroling triangles in pistachio and garnet, thundering arches of aqua and ebony with shrill points of cobalt and saffron. So those are all pretty specific color names, right? So they're mixing colors. Like cobalt and saffron are colors that have been mixed together. Vasia heard the colors singing. Vasia saw the music dancing. And Vasia was never quite as proper again. He quit his job teaching law and moved from Moscow to Munich to be a painter. He studied with this famous teacher, then that one. So here there are teachers. Is it a house? Is it a flower? What's it supposed to be? His teacher asked. Because they don't understand, right? They don't hear colors like Vasia does. Vasia wanted to paint the colors he heard, but maybe the famous teachers knew best. Once again, Vasia put houses and flowers, animals and people into his paintings, just like everyone expected. The teachers were happy. Vasia was not. His artist friends understood. They too were tired of painting pretty landscapes and pretty ladies. They thought art needed to change. Art should make you feel, Vasia told them, like music. Exactly, said his friends, but none of them knew how to paint feelings, until the day Vasia grew brave enough and invited the world to see the paintings roaring from his noisy paint box. Rattle, bash, whistle, murmur, zip, clang, squeak, hiss, tweet. All those sounds that the colors are making to Vasia. Snapping coralline points, crunching crimson squares, whispering charcoal lines. Vasia named these paintings after the music he loved. Improvisation, composition, accompaniment, fugue, movement, and simply 3 sounds. Oh, Audrey, can you make the lights come back on? With his noisy paintbox, Vasia Kandinsky created something entirely new: abstract art. It took a long time for people to understand. Is it a house? Is it a flower? What's it supposed to be? It's my art, Vasia answered. How does it make you feel? All right. So I'll show you, there's, how many more are there? So it's a few more of his paintings kind of in the back here. So I thought that was such an interesting story about an artist that can hear colors, right? Pretty amazing. Maybe some of you can too. It's not something that everyone can do. Only a few people can, but maybe you're one of them, right? Or maybe you can, I don't know, taste colors. There's people like that out there too. There's people who can smell colors, all different things like that. It's just not super common. So we learned from Vasia that art does not have to look like something specific, right? And that's always what I say at preschool. I'll say, tell me about your art. And maybe it is something specific, like a house or a flower or a person, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that you feel or hear or see, right? Okay, so we have our mouse paint book that we need to finish, right? So far, we did red plus yellow equals orange, right? And orange is the secondary color. We did yellow plus blue equals green, and that's the secondary color. And today we're going to do blue plus red, which equals purple. Remember, that's not a very good purple in this book, but it's supposed to be purple. And purple is also a secondary color. So here's our book, right? There's our first page. Red plus yellow equals orange. Yellow plus blue equals green. And today, our last one that we need to do, oh goodness, blue plus red, I think, right? Yep, blue plus red. So we need the blue. And you know what? I forgot to grab paintbrushes. Do I have any over here? Nope. Sorry, you guys. I gotta run real quick over by the sink and get some paintbrushes. Just a second. I thought I had all the paintbrushes I would need for the week up here, but apparently I did not. All right, so blue plus red. So remember, you may not have a blue paintbrush or a red paintbrush, and that's okay. So we're going to take the blue paint the first mouse blue. So there we go, blue mouse. Now the red paintbrush, paint the second mouse red. All right, so blue plus red, and then we need to mix them together on the third mouse, right? It's kind of like when the mice do a little dance in the book. Mix, 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 mix. All right, so blue plus red is purple, and purple is a secondary color, right? Just like green and orange. So the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. The secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. Okay, so remember to let that dry before you try to close the pages or open them, all right? So then we also have a fun colors board game. Looks like this. So you have these cards that have color words on them, and because I know everyone doesn't know how to read color words yet, I have colored each of them in with their appropriate color. So let's see here. I need some little pieces to move on my board. I happen to have these little old board game pieces. You can use coins or whatever you have around your house, okay? Just so that you can tell each person's apart. You could take some pieces out of a board game you already have to use. All right, so put them where it says start. Then you're gonna pull these need to go upside down. You're going to pull a card out. Oh, and this one says orange. So I'm going to take my little person piece here and move it to the first piece, or the first spot that it has a picture of something that's orange. So in this case, it's a pair of, looks like gardening gloves, orange gardening gloves. All right, then the next person is going to pick one, and this one says purple. So this one's going to move to the first picture that is something that's purple, and it looks like it's a purple pair of socks. All right, so you'll keep taking turns until somebody gets to the last spot that says end, and that person is the winner of the game. All right, so let me just put these back together. right. One more thing today, and I am not, we have paintbrushes over here. I am not going to do this for you in circle time because I think you can figure it out. But you're going to write your name or trace your name, and we're doing color mixing again. This says color mixing investigation. So you'll paint just like we did with the mouse paint book, red plus blue, and then you'll mix them together here. Blue plus yellow, and then you'll mix them together here. Yellow plus red, and then you'll mix them together here. Okay? Because the more you practice mixing the colors, the more you will remember what mixing colors make, right? Okay, that is what I have to share with you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and great weekend. Hopefully I will see most of you today at between 10 and 12 for packet pickup, all right? So bye everyone.